A few days ago, this graph started to circulate on social media. It shows the usage of OpenAI over time, and as you can see, it experienced a precipitous drop near the beginning of June. One person in the comments even asked, "What happened to OpenAI on June 6th?" And every teacher in America, upon hearing that question, made this face. What happened, of course, is that the school year ended, and with no students needing to use OpenAI to cheat, its usage plummeted. The usage of AI by students is epidemic, and frankly, it's horrifying. If you follow me on social media, you know that I generally don't tend to talk about politics or any kind of controversial topic, really. I don't like arguing with people. But this particular topic, the anti-AI topic, well, apparently this is the hill I have chosen to unalive on. Over the last few years, I have watched as the usage of ChatGPT just gets higher and higher. I see kids using it to look up answers. I see them using it to write entire essays. I saw one kid use ChatGPT once as a calculator. You have a calculator app on your Chromebook, Billy, and it doesn't guzzle enough water to drown a chinchilla every time you ask it what 3 plus 3 is. Well, Blake, what's wrong with looking up answers, you may ask? Of course, there's nothing wrong with looking something up if you don't know it, but the AI that these companies like Google are shoving down our throats is not as accurate as, ironically, a simple Google search. Sure, Google might take you a little bit longer and you might have to use some of your own thinking to find the right answer, but their AI is spitting out nonsense like pizza recipes with glue included, definitions for terms that don't exist. That's because technology like ChatGPT and the other kinds of AI that students are using are not actually AI. They're not truly intelligent. They're actually LLMs, large language models. These are algorithms that look at a prompt and then use the millions of pages of text in their database, copyrighted text that was scraped and used without the permission of the copyright holders, such as myself, to synthesize a response. But they don't have any way to check for accuracy, and they wouldn't care if they did. They just spit out something that they think sounds like what they think the human wants to hear. That's why last year, when I assigned my students an essay on Hamlet, I got one that mysteriously turned into an essay about Macbeth halfway through, because the computer got confused. Remember, these LLMs, these large language models, that's essentially a more sophisticated version of the technology that your phone uses for its autocorrect. Remember that. You are trying to write an essay with the same kind of software that can't remember you're not writing duck. And the thing is, as teachers, we know when an essay that gets handed into us is written by AI. It's blindingly obvious. All of a sudden, the kid who needed me to define amphibian form a few days ago is using words like despondent, anthropomorphic. And we can tell because the writing is bland, boring, lifeless, soulless. It's a hodgepodge of words and phrases that sound like they might be right if you don't apply a few seconds of critical thinking. Of course, avoiding thinking is the reason kids are using this in the first place. And that's the other thing. When you're using AI, you're not only trying to cheat your way through school, you're cheating yourself out of an education. I'm not assigning essays because I really want to know what 147 high school kids think about 1984. I assign essays because I'm trying to help you learn how to formulate an argument. I'm trying to help you learn how to organize your thoughts and express yourself fully. And if ChatGPT does all of that for you, well then, you've learned nothing and you've wasted both of our times. Well, Blake, sure, you shouldn't use ChatGPT to do the writing for you. How kind of you to concede that point. But what about people who just use it to organize or to get ideas? I refer you again to this face. For the maybe 3 students who actually use ChatGPT the way you're describing, well, you still have the mountain of ethical questions surrounding it to deal with, but okay, maybe I'm not talking to you. And I don't mean 3 students per class. I'm talking nationwide. Because nobody in the classroom actually believes that that is the way students are using this technology. Saying we should allow it in schools for that purpose is like saying we should get rid of the rules that say no cigarettes on campus because there might be 2 kids who have to carry it for their parents. I'm saying all this today because we're at the beginning of a new school year. My students went back last week. I've got a lot of teacher friends all over the country. A lot of them are already back, and the rest of them are going to be back very soon. So I'm trying to impress upon everybody right now just why this kind of stuff can't be allowed. But it's the future, Blake. It's not going away. You've got to learn to adapt. I reject that argument. As a society, we have the power to say no to things that we don't want. We said no to the Segway. We said no to disco. And collectively, we came together and rejected the comedy of Tom Green. We can do it to this too. And if everything I've said already hasn't convinced you, how about this? Multiple studies are starting to come out that show the effects that AI usage is having on the human brain, and frankly, they're terrifying to me. AI usage is being linked to the lowering of people's aspirations. People's goals are going away if they use this stuff too much. It's shaping the way that people, especially young people, socialize, and it's trapping them in these emotional echo chambers that just say whatever they think they want to hear, no matter how harmful it might be. It has been linked to a decline in neural connectivity. It is literally making your brain work more slowly. People who use AI to write can't remember what they wrote just a few minutes later. And once this damage is done, even quitting AI and going back to traditional methods of writing isn't reversing the damage, at least not right away. And these aren't some fly-by-night operations doing these studies. We're talking about places like Harvard and MIT. So my friends, the next time somebody tells you that AI is just a tool, remember what I said. Remember this graph, remember this face. Have a great school year, and be kind to your brain.